what's up, everyone? I'm Jason from Baja Designs, and we have my good friend here, Art, and his Bronco, and he's about to go race the Mexican 1000, starting this week, racing from Ensenada down to La Paz. And we got his Bronco here, and we just want to do a quick little walk around and check it out. Art, what do we got here?
So this was originally a 94 Bronco. It's gone a little bit backwards with the front clip is from a 91 because I love the drop center hoods and brick nose.
So that's a hot take. So you're saying you like the brick nose better than the arrow nose on the OBS Broncos?
Absolutely.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it just comes from a time from back in the 80s, all the Class 8 trucks, those were like the coolest thing when I was a kid. So you had guys like Dave Shop and Walker Evans and stuff like that. So
you're going to go race the NORRA 1000, but you've been shooting Baja races for how many years now?
25 years now.
25 years. And this will be your first race of the Mexican 1000 with your Bronco?
Correct. Yeah.
Which you usually use to pre-run.
Yes.
That is awesome. How are you feeling about that?
I'm a little nervous, but this Bronco's been down the peninsula like a dozen times or more.
Yeah.
So it kind of almost knows its own way. So
yeah. But up front, you're telling me that it's stock with Desolate Motorsports kit. Mm-hmm. What type of suspension is it running?
King, all the way around. Front is 3-inch internal bypass. Rear is 3-inch triple bypass. Big bumps on it. The 2.5-inch bump stops front and rear.
And how many inches of wheel travel does it pull?
Honestly, I don't know. It's enough. Enough to get you in trouble.
Yeah. So up here, so this is still 4-wheel drive with the twin traction beams, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's awesome. But right here, this is like unusual tire I've never seen on a Bronco before. I guarantee you no other Broncos have these tires. Tell me about these BFGs.
So BFG was kind enough to hook me up with these. These are the KDR2 Plus. It's a Dakar tire, 35 on a 17. And so far, they've been amazing. Lots and lots of traction, but still good on the pavement. So
that's awesome. There's a lot of pavement in NORRA.
Yeah, it's kind of like 60-40 on dirt and pavement.
I like it. I mean, most of the NORRA's in the day, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if it's night and you're still on your stage, you're not doing so good.
No, you had some problems that day.
You had some problems, but up here you have two LP9s with a combo lens, and then a 20-inch Onyx with amber combo lens, and that's super good for the dust and fog, but also just running that in the day just to let people see you coming from far away is just going to be crucial. Well, let's open the hood. So first thing I notice here is you have this sweet little tiny toggle switch and a couple Baja Designs rock lights for some work.
Hopefully we don't have to work on it.
Yeah.
If we have to, we got the light for it.
So tell me about what's powering this thing.
So it's a 351 Windsor, slightly modified cam, heads, headers, and intake. So it's running about a little over 400 horsepower.
That's a whole lot better than the stock 180 it came with from the factory.
Yeah, so it's like double.
Yeah, and then you got the Desolate crossbar. Shock mount.
No, that is something that we built.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these Kings barely fit in here between the
everything's shoehorned in. There's not a whole lot of room.
Not a whole lot. And then you got spare fluids. And I really love this little feature here. Just like a fun little detail Easter egg. Windshield sauce. That's fun. Sweet. Let's move on to the back. All right. First thing I'm going to notice, I'm going to tell you that your chase light's a bit ridiculous. Mm-hmm. This is overkill, but I totally get it. You just had to lay it around. You're like, why not make it a chase light?
It was on my F-150, and we were trying to figure out a chase light that no one, you couldn't possibly miss it. So that's what we came up with. We're like, let's just mount it on there.
Especially at NORRA, when there's a trophy truck on the same course as you and they're having a real bad day and you might have passed them and they're in the dust.
Yes.
That is overkill by a mile, but I like it. Yeah. So that's a dual control, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So just the outer amber's on and then the clear center's on. That's a forward-facing light that you should run on the front of a... that's more light than most people need in the reverse.
Yeah.
But... you have the S spot, you can still dim it down. So you could probably dim it down to 10%. It would still be perfectly fine.
And then we just kind of run it on the flasher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. Well, in the back right here, you have it's pretty cool. I really like how it's fabricated. You have your 35-inch tire held down by your speed strap, and you got your PRP tool bag. And I'm assuming you have a toolbox right there, jack, and like it's pretty cool. You have your little lug nuts held right here. But earlier you showed me that inside that cubby you have a spare alternator and starter, right? Is that?
It's just mounted to the cage, just in case.
Yeah, so you don't have to put it into a box. And like this essentially is like what you're racing with.
Yes.
What else are you throwing bags of gear in here?
Not really. Just it's going to be pretty bare bones. Water,
Yeah,
snacks.
yeah.
That's it. Let's go.
Art, tell me about the interior. What do you got going on?
The interior. So first off, full cage. We did it. It started with a Solo Motorsports cage, and then we added a lot to it.
Yeah.
And then we have PRP checkers, a record steering wheel, seats, the podium seats all the way around, 3-seater, built in a console, rugged radio, and intercom, and the S-Pod.
Do you control anything else with the S-Pod, like your Parker pumpers, or do you,
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Parker pumpers, GPS, all the electronics are just wired up to the S-Pod.
Correct.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. You have a manual valve body on your transmission. Why do you have that for the Bronco? Just because like that old slush box,
Yeah. Well,
hunting gears,
race car.
race car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. And I saw your trick little mirror. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's a rear view camera.
Oh.
You can't see out the back of this thing,
Yeah.
especially with the third seat. So now we can always see out the back.
Tell me about the PRP seats. So these are the PRP podiums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to do race seats. PRP was kind enough to work with us on this, and we went with the podium. Nice light seat.
Yeah.
They had it on the shelf ready to go.
Comfy. Nicer. Lots of containment. And then you also have these seat cushions. What are these seat cushions?
Those are the UPR seat cushions.
Yeah.
I've been working with them for a long time. I know Jeff over there at UPR, and he was able to hook us up on that.
And these are like custom formed to you, right? Or what?
These are our stock ones.
Yeah. And what is the difference for having UPR? Like, what's the benefit of it?
If you're in it all day long,
Yeah.
it does make a difference.
Yeah. I can't believe you were driving this without like any type of suspension or containment seats, and you just had stock recliners, because those seats, the stock seats, are garbage.
Yeah, they're terrible.
You're just like bouncing all over the place, and I can't believe you had that.
Well,
That's insane.
It was just like for scouting for photo spots and stuff.
Yeah,
so you're in and out of it all day, so
Yeah.
it wasn't that big.
No, this is like super rad, and it's super clean, and it's full race car when you have a shut off switch.
Yeah.
You're fully race car now. It looks super, super rad. And then you still have the stock dash. Does that? Oh, you have the dash brace kit too.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't flop around.
Yeah, it's all incorporated into the cage now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's pretty rad.
The back is a custom leaf pack that a buddy of mine came up with for Broncos that are running a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
And then Desolate sway bar kit, King's 3-inch King triple bypass in the back, and with the King big bump stops.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Those are like the same bumps you see on trophy trucks. So it's kind of overkill again.
On your daily driver Bronco.
Yeah, it's overkill, absolutely, but we love that.
I'm a big fan of your mud flap that's around the shock shafts and protected from all the rocks and debris. I think that's a super cool touch. And then, of course, you have your BFGs with the Raceline wheels.
Yeah.
Look super awesome. What's up with the yellow lug nuts? I've seen these before on trophy trucks.
I don't know. I've seen it on trophy trucks too. But when you order those 1-inch nuts, they come in yellow.
They come in yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's probably when you take them out and they get lost in the sand, you can find them easier.
Honestly, I have no idea.
That's how much we know.
Yeah, but it works. It works. So
It works. Why NORRA? Why are you racing NORRA? Why are you doing it?
So in 2012, I chased my buddy Boyd Janes with my dad at the NORRA 1000, and my dad used to race.
Yeah.
When growing up, my dad raced a Class 5 car and kind of got out of it like when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so he came and chased the race with me, and he was like, "Oh, this is a lot of fun. We should do this. We'll do this next year." So we started building this together. But in 2014, my dad passed. So he made me promise, hey, go ahead and do the race,
Yeah.
And so it's taken me this long to get it all together and get the program together, and we're racing in his honor.
I love it. I love it. And you actually have a little bit of your dad's ashes.
Yeah, he's there. He's riding on the
man. He'd be proud. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also just really cool from like the legacy of like your dad racing and you're kind of like encompassing all off-road racing for 25 years, shooting it, being in the sport longer. Like now that you're actually racing and not just on the sidelines shooting it.
Yeah.
Like that's got to feel
it's
amazing.
It's great. You know, I got it. I always loved photography, but I got into shooting and racing because I wanted to be out there.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to race.
Yeah. Like most of us.
So I made my way out there as best as I could, and then it was able to make a career out of it, made a life out of it. So, and I've been fortunate, like everybody on here has helped me get here. Like, there's no way I could do it without them.
Yeah.
You know, these are all clients that turned into sponsors.
That's so cool. And to see how all the communities come together and help you race.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be out in the Mexican 1000. What is it like to race the Mexican 1000 versus, like, say, the Baja 1000?
To me, it's like the Baja 1000 is just gnarly because it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Right. And it goes all night and it's super grueling. You're getting the same terrain, but you get it broken up over 6 days.
Yeah.
You get to see all the best of Baja during the day.
Yeah.
And then they don't run, NORRA doesn't run like the super gnarly stuff.
Right.
So a lot more fast paced, like graded roads and stuff. Something like you could do in this.
Yeah. The vintage cars, a lot of people are driving Manx and even stock like Forerunners on like the experience class, right? All the way up to Steve Menzies Mason Hollow Drive. Yeah.
You have everything from trophy trucks down to, you know, basically what's like a 1600 car.
That is so awesome. I'm sure you're super stoked. And so you're leaving this week and
leaving today.
Leaving today. You're leaving today, and we got a first-hand look at it. So it's super awesome, dude. Have fun in NORRA. We appreciate you coming out here and letting us check out your Bronco. I think we should go shake it down a little bit.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
I said, give me one of them Smith & Wesson Magnum 44s. 'Cause there's a man that the law let loose and justice was not done. This man killed my wife and my only little son. I'll never forget the way he looked all through the trial. He had his big name lawyer and he had that